Hey guys, this is Joe Saint, along with my sidekick, Frankensleeve, coming at you with a 2-year surgerversary update. This may be a little bit of a long video because I got a lot of stuff I'd like to cover, and I'm a research junkie and I tend to think other people want to have as much information as possible about a topic, so forgive me if I go too long on this one. But just some of the basics. December 27th of 2012, I had vertical gastric sleeve surgery. My weight at the time was 375 pounds. The actual day of surgery, I weighed 352 pounds. I had lost quite a bit of weight in the pre-op diet. And you'll notice I'm kind of looking over to the side here every once in a while because I have so much information I had to write an outline. So I'm not good at speaking off the top of my head, so if you don't mind, just follow along with me and hang in there as I try to read off my own screen. See, so my current stats, this morning I weighed in at 205.6 pounds. I've been as low as 204. My waist has gone from a 44-inch waist down to a 34-inch waist. My shirt sizes have decreased from as big as a 4X shirt, maybe even 5X, because I never bought a 5X, but I stretched my 4X shirts out to make them look baggier. And I've gone down to a size large. This shirt I'm wearing right now is my smallest shirt ever. I haven't worn a size large since somewhere in high school, I believe, 29, 30 years ago. So ever since high school, I've worn extra large and just gotten bigger. One of the things my doctor told me when pre-surgery was what to be realistic in my expectations. He told me that I could realistically get down to 235, 230. That's where he wanted me to be, and it was pretty easy to get there. And once I reached that weight, I thought I could do better, and so I shot for 225, actually 224, because I believe that was the weight I weighed in high school at graduation, and I wanted to be back down to the weight I was 20 plus years earlier, just to see if I could do it. So I hit that goal of 225, hit 224, hit 220. I thought, well, shoot, 220, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm not looking, I'm still, got a bit of fat on me. I just decided to set a new goal. I said, let's shoot for 200 or 205. I wasn't really sure which one. So my goals changed as my weight decreased and how I felt and how I looked. So I got down to below 210. It was a little bit of a tough thing to get below 210 and stay there. For many weeks I bounced between 210 and 215. Finally, after a few months of bouncing around, got down to the 206, 207 range and managed to stay there for more than a week. And right before Thanksgiving of 2014, I managed to get down to as low as 204.8, I believe. And then the holidays kicked in, and I knew that I'd be letting myself overeat a little bit, and I did. I went back up to the 220 range, but that wasn't really all fat because I really wasn't overeating a whole big bunch. It was mainly because I was eating primarily salted ham. We got a free salted spiraled ham at work. My parents cooked spiraled ham for Thanksgiving. They cooked another one for Christmas. So I was eating a lot of spiraled ham, so it has a ton of salt in it, so I was holding a lot of water weight. So it quickly fell back off me by going back to my basic diet of lean protein and low glycemic vegetables like cauliflower, broccoli, eating lentils, eating black beans, that kind of food. So once the salt got out of my system, I dropped all the water weight and managed to get down back below 210 pretty quickly. And I kind of went through that process twice. I went up to 220 at Thanksgiving, lost it back down to like 207, 208 by Christmas, let myself eat a little bad stuff during Christmas, went back up to 213, And now that it's January the 10th, 2015, I guess it's about 3 weeks since then, I'm back down to 205. So the sleeve never stops working. I've seen questions people ask on the forums. It's pretty common to say, well, when does the sleeve stop working? You know, it never really stops working. It's always a tool. It's always available to you. It may be a little bit harder at times to lose weight because your body does adjust to the lower caloric intake you're getting over time. Your metabolism slows down. It's a combination of the food you're eating, how much salt's in them, how much sugar's in them. And it's a process you really just have to learn on your own over time to see what foods affect your body differently. Like, for example, I know that I really have to limit my intake of sugar in order to maintain my weight and or not lose weight. Even things like eating apples and bananas, I cannot eat them on a regular basis. I can't even eat them like once a day, because if I want to lose weight, it doesn't happen. It's just, I stall out. So that's the kind of things you have to learn about yourself. See, what else do I have on my little list here? Kind of got off on a tangent on that whole thing. Hopefully I'm getting better at this, and I'm not boring you too much with all the details. The main thing is, what I'd like to get out of this video is, and all my videos really, is to know that I'm helping somebody else who is in the beginning stages of weight loss surgery research, trying to figure out what would work for them or what they would feel comfortable choosing. And if you have any thoughts, opinions, or questions, please post them on any of my videos. If you don't like my videos, thumb them down or thumb them up, because every little bit of we call it constructive criticism helps out a lot. I would really like to be better at doing this and providing people with what they want, not just what I think they want. So I'd appreciate it if you would do that for me. Let's see. Getting back to my original plan of the outline. After the first year of vertical gastric sleeve surgery, I was able to eat pretty much anything I wanted to eat with very little complaints from Frankensleeve. There were still a few things that occasionally give me problems. Not real problems, I mean just a little bit of discomfort, or more like a growl. Chicken is one of the things, especially baked chicken. Don't know why it's so tough to digest, but it really is. The only thing that really gives me enough of a problem that I have given it up and avoided completely is Taco Bell taco sauce. It comes in a jar at the grocery stores. Tastes great. Frankensleeve hates it. I don't know why. I can eat chunky salsa. I can eat the store brand salsa. I can eat paste salsa. I can eat Mexican food. I can eat the salsa at the Mexican food restaurant. Taco Bell taco sauce is the only thing that Frankensleeve just totally detests and will not tolerate. So I had to give it up. But paste pecani sauce makes a good alternative when I want salsa. I put salsa on my eggs or my refried beans or just whatever I like, even salad sometimes. Some of the realities of having weight loss surgery was, even though I thought I went into the surgery with a realistic attitude, it really wasn't the magic pill I had fantasized it to be. I watched all the videos and read all the forum threads, trying to find as much of the good stuff and the bad stuff. And of course, I didn't want to hear the bad stuff. I didn't want to hear about the complications, didn't want to hear about people having trouble eating for a long period of time, didn't want to hear about the pain, even though I tried to be realistic about it. And I wanted the weight to fall off like magic, and really no effort on my part. And that was really true for the first 6 months, because my sleeve prevented me from eating a lot of stuff. It just wouldn't tolerate any food, so I kind of had to settle for whatever I could tolerate. So there was that 6-month honeymoon period where I was losing anywhere from 12 to 15 pounds consistently every month. But first and foremost, I am going to say I never regretted having the surgery. It was I guess out of everything I've chosen to do, this has been the very best decision of my life. I'm to a weight I never thought I'd get back to. For so many years, being a normal sized person was just a fantasy. So after 20 plus years, it was just really a fantasy come true. I have no regrets for anything that I've had to go through to have the surgery, all the pre-op testing, all the drives to Houston from Beaumont. It's a 2-hour one-way drive each time, and I had to make 5, 6, 7 drives in the months leading up to surgery, because that's the only doctor. That was the closest doctor that my insurance would approve. All the time that it took for Frankensleeve to readjust to foods again, other than the initial pain during the first 2 weeks of surgery, the first 2 weeks post-op after I got home, I've had really no complications to speak of. Really, I believe the only reason I had any pain at all after I got home was because on the day I was released, they took me off the pain pump, and a few hours later I got the hiccups, and the hiccups lasted like 2-3 minutes. I don't know how long, but it didn't seem like they were never going to stop. And I think I stretched my staple line on my sleeve a bit, and so I was having to recover from that irritation for it took a while, on top of the regular recovery from the stomach removal. The number one benefit I got from the surgery was I lost all my cravings for food. My head hunger just completely went away. Beginning that first day, I never felt it in my head again. Sometimes I still get, when I see a food, I was like, boy, that would taste good, but I can walk away from it. As opposed to before, where I would get these random cravings for certain flavors like cherry or for hamburger, and I could not go to sleep at night until I went and bought something with cherries in it, or if I went and got a hamburger from my favorite restaurant. All that's gone now. I can take or leave food. I make an effort still to not have an interest in food, because I don't want to have an interest in food anymore. I want to be able to just take it or leave it or walk away from it. There are some times when I will walk past a food, like donuts. They seem to be my one kryptonite. It doesn't happen often. Maybe once a month they'll bring donuts to work. Oh, they'll bring donuts to work almost every week. But like once a month I walk past it, and it's like I just have a craving thrown on me. It's like I really, really love the taste of that, and so I'll have usually just one. Sometimes I have 2, but it's really, really rare, because I can, instead of having to eat 4 or 5 now, 1 is enough, and I'm satisfied and can go on. I don't think about what I'm going to eat next. That was a big part of my life, because I knew from years of experience that I was going to be hungry every 2 hours. No matter how much I ate, I was going to get these head hunger cravings again in about 2 hours. As soon as my stomach was empty enough that it registered it had some room in it, I was going to get head hunger again. So that's how my whole thought was. When I wasn't working or actively doing something, my thoughts were always about what was I going to eat next, and making sure I had enough food handy in the house so I didn't have to go out and go get stuff. I still, after the first year, the restrictions really seemed to let up a whole lot on Frankensleeve. My ability to hold more food increased. From the first 6 months was around half a cup was the most I could possibly hold during a meal every couple of hours, and at 1 year I was able to eat up to 6-8 ounces, a cup maybe, or sometimes a cup and a half depending on the food. For example, if I'm eating pork loin, which is a big part of my diet, so very lean pork meat, I can eat about a 6-ounce pork loin steak, and that will fill me to the top. I'll have 1 or 2 bites left over out of that 6 ounces. As opposed to something like yellow squash. I eat a lot of yellow squash during the season, and I think I can literally eat up to 12 to 15 ounces. I can eat 3 big yellow squashes, not in, you know, rapid succession, but over the course of an hour, hour and a half, I can eat a pound of squash. It just seems like it's a slider food for me. It's really, I guess, kind of just packs down. It's got so much water in it. So there's a difference in the kinds of food you can eat and how much you can hold, or at least how much I can hold. It just really depends on, I guess, the water content and the density of the food.